G'day, welcome back to another episode of TOGL. I'll get in close so you can hear me. I'm down the back part of the block today, and as a part of what the council wanted us to do in living on this land was to keep the fire trails clear. Now I did this trail I'm on right now a couple of years ago, but it's got overgrown again, so I'm down here again. Everything behind me I've cleared. I basically drive up, clear 50 metres with a machete, chainsaw if needed, drive the tractor up, clear another 50 metres and just keep going. I'm now at a point where those of you who have been with me for a while would remember a big tree came down along with a big rock. I managed to drag that rock to the edge of the road, but I never pushed it over. Today I'm going to push it over. Rightio, so there she is. Now, I would not be pushing this off the side of a steep slope like this anywhere except where I know 100% there's no one down below it. This is my land. There will be no one down below it, and if they are, they're trespassing. So, I'll push it over as close as I can, and then hopefully I can turn the tractor off and give it the last little push so you can hear it go down without the noise of the tractor. We'll see how we go. I think it damn near went all the way to the river. Well, that was pretty cool. At least it's off the road now, because it was on probably one of the narrowest parts of the road. I had to get rid of that, but boy oh boy, geez. It once it got going down there, it's a steep, there was nothing stopping it. Well, the veggie patch is coming along really well. There's a lot growing, which is really good. So I thought I'd give you a quick little look around the veggie patch because we need to harvest some potatoes today. But just looking around, so all the fruit trees are coming along, and there's a lot of new growth on the avocado tree over there. And these two in the front there, they are kiwi fruit that Kay grew from seed. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. And we've got the grapes over the back, red table grape and green table grape. They're doing well. We've got some more Jerusalem artichokes growing up this year. And the raspberries are doing well. And we're starting to harvest raspberries off that, which is really good. There's some delicious raspberries in there. We've actually also got these too. These are a yellow raspberry, and they're quite tasty. But yeah, that's just something different. Coming over this way, and we've got radishes, which are just about ready to be picked. And then we'll get a second crop in. The beans are going great guns. Beautiful big tower there for the beans. And cucumbers just in the front. And the rhubarb's really come along well. We've already had some feeds of rhubarb. Beautiful red stems in there. Just lovely, really good rhubarb. There's 3 plants there. We've got a passion fruit growing, and it's, you know, it's sending up runners and getting on, so that's good. I'll end up building a frame up over the top here for them to grow on. So the carrots are doing well. And we've also got squash. I'll get around to them. Snow peas. The peas got decimated a bit by the possum got in, chewed all the ends off. But we are getting a couple of peas here and there, and some onions, a little bit of spinach coming up now, which is great. Those squash, so we've got the yellow button squash. We've also got these bigger green squashes in there, so we need to pick some of them. We'll pick some of them in a minute. And this is one of the onions, or a leek. Actually, I think this might have been a leek that went to seed. No, it's an onion that went to seed. So we'll let the bees have that, and then we might collect some seed off it later. So here's a leek that's gone to seed, so we can pull that seed out and we can plant that again next year. These are the wild yams, and as you can see, all the potatoes have died right back, and that's what we're waiting for. You wait for the potatoes to die back, and then you dig the potatoes up. Now what you don't want is this. You don't want to be able to have the potatoes show in the sun like that, because if they do, they start to go green, and then that's the green stuff's poisonous. You can see this little one over here. It's been exposed to the sun, totally green. So, but anyway, so what you do is you either cover that back up or you dig it up. So Kay's just starting now, and we're just going to start digging up these spuds, and we'll get a bag full of spuds.
There we go, potatoes.
Yeah. Quite a good haul of spuds out of that small area. Yeah, nice haul. Okay, well, the 2 beehives that I have over at Devonport, which I can't remove because they are within the biosecurity area, they're going really well, and they've actually filled up the boxes that they have. So I need to put some new boxes on, some extra boxes. Now, because it's the biosecurity zone, you can't take any used bee stuff in there, like the boxes and whatnot. So I needed to go and buy some new ones. So what I need to do is build 2 boxes, 1 for each hive, and 16 frames, because there's 8 per hive. So basically you can just go and buy the pieces like this, and they already come all dovetailed with the handles, and you just need to slide them together. Now the thing to make sure is that the handles are the right way up. That will also mean that this channel on the inside, which the frames hang on, is at the top as well. Now, once they're together like that, we just need to staple them. Alright, just like that. Now, I'll just knock up the other one and then we'll get onto the frames. So these are the frames. This is what we need to make. 16 in all, 8 per box. They just hang in like that. So we have a wide piece and a skinny piece, and they both have a groove. Those grooves need to face into each other. Then we have the ends. Now these ends have 2 holes. They have a little brass ringlet. Those brass ringlets need to face outwards. So we just pop that into there. That one on that end. And then, making sure that groove is down, pop the top on. Just like that. Alright. Then I just need to staple it. It's leaky, so I'll just disconnect it. And there we have another frame. And the next thing to do is to get the stainless steel wire, and you run it through, down and back again, so that you have 2 wires running through there. Then we can put the wax foundation on. These are the sheets of wax. So you basically just sit one on the wires, you connect the wires up to a battery to warm up, and they actually melt where they're touching, and then that actually glues this onto the wires, and I'll show you that process shortly. Okay, well, I couldn't find my stainless steel wire, so I ended up going and grabbing, probably not the best, it's galvanized, but it'll do the job for now. So I've been grabbed it at Bunnings. So anyway, so I've just stopped at a little park down the road from where I need to go and sort those bees out, and I will get these sorted out down here. So basically all I need to do with this wire is we just feed it through like that, the other side. And then to make life really simple, we just come back in and up to the other end. That's a ship. We're right near the port of Devonport. Okay. So now all I got to do is just break this wire. Should have some cutters with me. And then wrap this one off. Pull this nice and tight. You can buy a special tool to make these even tighter, these wires. But as I said, this will do for now. Get that pulled. And it's tight. Wrap it off. And this wire is pretty soft, so I'll just use my knife to trim that. Easy done. So now I need to heat that wire, and then we get one of these sheets to melt onto there like that. Nice and simple. So we'll get that in there first. It just sits in the bottom groove, and that's why you want that groove at the bottom, like I said, facing inwards. So you pop that in there, and then that'll lay down flat. And then what we need to do is I just use this little power pack. Works fine. You just need a power source, a low voltage power source. You don't want to be using 240. Alrighty, so we'll turn this on, and then all I've got to do is at the end where I've got the two separates, we just want to touch these wires down. Now that's just beeping because it's low power at the moment, but it'll be enough for what we need. So as that starts, it takes a little bit of time, but as that starts to heat up, I can feel that already, that warmth. And I just need those wires to melt in. I could feel some warmth. Maybe it's going a little flatter than I thought. And then once that's melted on, and then it'll just stick against the wire like that, then we can just drop it in. All good. Holy. Sorry?
Is that the one that's hanging there?
There's just a huge ball of bees hanging under that. I don't know if there's comb there, but there's a massive amount of bees hanging under it. So yeah, I think I'll just put that box up and let them come up. So that one will be exactly as that is. Oh. Well, that makes that easy in a way. Alright, well that's that one. That made that job very easy. She did a good job cleaning this out too, so thank you for that.
Yeah, we weren't sure how long you'd be, so I said we'll just clean it out and give them somewhere to go.
Exactly, yeah. That's it. And I've actually got some of the metal locks in the car. I'll bring one out and put onto that one. Yep. So it'll have a proper lock on it. What do we have here? That is so heavy, and that would all be honey. Wow. So what I'll do is I'll sweep them down in. That can go away, and I'll put that one on the top wherever I put my brush. There. Well, with all of the work that I've been doing, getting all of those beehives and sorting them out, I've ended up with a bit of honey, which has been really nice. And one of our viewers asked if I could show how I extract the honey. There are several different methods for extracting honey out of the honeycomb, the wax comb. Now, probably the most commercial or the biggest volume one is to use a centrifuge. Now, to use a centrifuge, you must have the frames that go into a Langstroth hive. You probably use a worry, I'm not sure. But anyway, the Langstroth hive. So those frames, they're held really well. The wax is held really well in there. And what they do is they just slice off the caps to uncap the wax on both sides, drop it into a frame, and it spins in a barrel and it flicks all the honey out. And that's fine. For things like the Kenyan top bar hive, and if I have to go into like a rescue hive or a rescue colony, I should say, where they're just all built in a wall or under the floor, there's no structure to that wax to hold it. Therefore, you can't spin it in a centrifuge. The whole thing will just fly apart. So when we've got pieces of wax like that, we've got two options. We can press it out, or we can break it up into a strainer, and that's the way that I'm going to show you right now. I must apologize for all the noise. The little chicks, they're always hungry, they're always chirping and carrying on. They are growing well though, but they're noisy little buggers. Anyway, let me show you how I get the honey out of the wax. So what we have here is, we have our piece of honeycomb, we have a metal sieve, metal kitchen sieve, and a bowl. And you can see here that this is all of the capped honey. You can see a little bit of glistening honey here on the edges, but yeah, this is the capped honey. So it's not a big piece that I've got at the moment. Now, all I need to do is, I just break away the pieces that don't have the honey in it. So I don't need that. And then these other pieces though, that's not needed either. Now, don't forget that you've actually got honey on both sides. That's actually a bit of brood, so I don't particularly want that. So all I want is this honey. Normally you would just break the pieces off and put them in, but in this instance I'm going to need to cut that out with a knife, because you don't really want to mash brood, which is baby bees, into it. So I'll just take that off like that and pop it in. Now, if it was just a full piece, both sides being used, then all I would do is just get a fork and just scratch it. And I mean, I can even do that, as you can see right here. Now see that there, that little bit of white, that was a baby bee. So we'll just get that out, we don't want that. It's not going to hurt you or anything, but it's just probably not pleasant. So I can just scrape this off like this. It's exposing all of that honey. And then I'll scrape that up and pop that into here. So it's really just mashing the wax and the comb, and then getting it into this strainer. Now this is only a little piece that I'm doing. I would normally do a lot larger amounts, so just really doing it for the purposes of showing you how it works if you haven't seen some of my previous videos. I've got to tell you, it smells wonderful. Alright. More there. Okay. Get that out. There we go. Okay, so this now just all sits in the bottom here. Now you don't push it through. You don't want to push it through, because then you end up with a lot of the wax being in your honey, and the whole idea is that we're trying to strain it. And then you can see the honey is starting to drip out already. It's a slow process, although it is faster if the weather's warm. When the weather's cool and it's a very cool rainy day, it'll take a lot longer. But that honey will just drain through, then you're left with a bowl of honey. You can just bottle it up, away you go. So that's one method. And the other method, the third method, is to use the press. Now this is a bit of footage that I took some time ago, but you can see here the press, and you simply wind down the handle after loading it up with a heap of honeycomb, and it just squeezes the honey out. And that's the preferred way to do it. So generally that's the way that I'll do it when I get a decent harvest. Anyway, that's it for this episode. So thanks very much. A couple of interesting things in there. I hope you've enjoyed that. And I will be back next Friday. So until then, you have yourselves a great weekend and a great week. Stay safe, take care. I'll see you guys next Friday. Cheers.